So what's the most important thing to make your paintball team better? My name's Greg, you're watching How to Play Paintball. What is up, everyone? Before we get started, I wanted to say real quick, make sure that you check out the description down below. There is a free drill ebook cheat sheet, so that way you can have a bunch of ideas for you, whether it be by yourself or with your team. It's all down there for you. So there's a couple things that are going to make or break a team from either making that next bump to improving or gonna make them fizzle out. These are just three that we're gonna be going over, so this is the only three that are important, but make sure that you're staying tuned because the third might just be the most important. First thing, practicing incorrectly. Sometimes teams go in and all they're focusing on at practice is how is it that we can win? Yes, everyone wants to win in paintball, but when all you're doing is focusing on just winning, that's gonna force people to maybe not be as honest. It might also be that they are going to kind of push the boundaries a little bit more and not in a good way. At a practice, you really need to be focusing on improvements. So when you're thinking about, okay, well, when we get to this practice, if it's a layout that you've already played, how is it that we can be better on this layout? Also, put yourself in those situations that you didn't do well last week or maybe at the tournament before. So let's say that's low body situations. If you have a low body situation, you put yourself in that situation. I remember Matty Marshall, you guys know him from Go Sports, the voice of paintball, had mentioned that, okay, yeah, you can go and practice and hope that you have these times that you are in a situation that you're struggling in, or just put yourself in that situation. So let's say that you're having issues with closing points. Well, have it where you are, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, something like that, and you have to close in a certain amount of time. How is it that you can work together to close effectively and make sure that you are executing that? It could also be the opposite. It could be that maybe you were having a hard time, you're doing great on the aggression, and then when you needed to hold up, you just had a really hard time with that. Do the opposite. I have an attack and defend drill that you can check out, and that's gonna be something that's gonna help you out to be a better team rather than just trying to do everything by yourself. The second thing, not taking it seriously. Look, we all like to play paintball. It's fun. You like to go out and have a good time. There's a time and a place for having fun and joking around and all of that. If all you're doing is just trying to go screw around and that's what you guys want to do, there is no problem with that. But if you're trying to be very competitive, trying to understand how is it that I can be better, how is it that I can improve, how is it that, hey, when we played this last one, I had an issue where I rolled off and I was shooting a gap and I said something and you didn't respond. Having those kinds of conversations and, hey, I got bounce going out to here, let me try a different route on this next point. Hey, I don't think that this is going to be great. In this case, hey, I had an issue with this last point. I'd like to try it again because I want to fix that. When you're focused on how is it that I can improve and how is it that we as a team can improve, it's going to take your game to the next level. You're going to be able to go ahead and be more direct with what you're doing, whether it be at practice or at a tournament. Again, I'm not saying don't have fun. It's fun to go shoot people. It's fun to go bunker people. There's something about paintball that has grabbed me for 20 whatever years of playing. I get it. But if I'm going to the field, I usually am in kind of a work mode. I want to, how is it that I can improve? What is it that I can do? I hate waiting around to do points because I want to get out, grind. I don't want it to be a, just kind of lollygagging or anything like that. So when I'm going to a tournament or if there is, it's after a tournament, if you look at all the top teams, P-Mob is a great example. They just won the last event in Atlantic City and they were saying that, well, we started to take it seriously. They mercied every single team that they played from prelims all the way to the finals. So when you're taking it seriously and you're really trying to break down what is it that we can do better in this next point, those are the little things that are going to separate the good from the great. And that brings us to the third thing. The third thing is honestly just having an open dialogue. Some people have issues with hearing things and not being able to accept that. But there's also those that are always saying, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. But then they never take accountability for themselves. And I think that is something that might be more detrimental because you need to also accept when you make mistakes. Great example with Armada. at Atlantic City, there was a mistake that I made, and one of the players said, hey, dude, chill out. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. You are 100% correct. I went too quick. I went and tried to do this too quickly. Boom, done. That's all the conversation needs to be. He's not being aggressive. I'm not also just saying like, well, but this happened and this happened. You know, there's times that it's, look, I don't know where that shot came from. And then you can figure out what happened. In the same vein, one of my players, I look over and I'm talking with him and he was playing kind of loose and ended up getting shot. But then after the point, I said, look, tighten up. Like when I look over and I see that you're playing real loose, you know, it's all those little things that are going to make the difference. But if it's not a two-way street, that's when it's going to be a problem. So many players are very willing to dish out, here's all the things that you did wrong, rather than, hey, I screwed up this. And when it's a two-way street, one, people are going to be more willing to hear what you're saying, but also they know that you're going to accept whatever it is that's said. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the top-ranked player of the league or if you are brand new. There is always something new to learn. There's always something to do better. And when you have that kind of a mindset, when it's a growth mindset, that's going to help you out. So you don't want it to be that you are, blah, 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 blah. It's all your fault, all your fault, all your fault. Also, you don't want it to be that someone tells you something and you just turtle up and, you know, get down on yourself. Patty Gleason is a great example, actually, for this, because he sent out an email. If you guys aren't a part of his email list, by the way, definitely hit up the Off the Leash Lifestyle. It's awesome workouts, but also he has some really great stuff he emails. And one of the things was putting effort and energy into what you can actually do. If it's not something that you can change, don't put effort and energy into it. If it is something that you can change, have your energy into that. You don't want it to be that, oh, well, the ref is blah, 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 blah. Okay, you can't change the ref, but you can change how tight you're playing, or make it where the ref, there's no question of if it's a hit or rub or whatever, because you're playing clean, you're playing tight. So if you focus on the things that I can do as a player, it doesn't matter. You need to accept your own responsibility, but also only put the energy into things that are things that you can control. Like there's no reason to get upset about the weather. That's just the weather. So those are 3 things. What are some other things? Put it down in the comments down below. What do you think would be some things that you would say that are super important for a team to take it to the next level? Thank you for watching. And again, make sure you check out the description down below. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.